Hey guys, another video here. Put this one out pretty random. It's a perfect time to do it though. As I've said in my past videos, been caught up subject to these frequencies, and I'd like to speak a little bit about what frequency is. A frequency is governance, to be governed. There's a lot of fact, they call it, that's been brought up in history, and it's one of those facts that haven't been busted, and that's the difference between alpha and omega. So alpha being alpha, and omega being resistance, to keep a balance. And over the years in my spiritual experience, I've come along with my own truth, but resistance it's not a fundamental in our life and our well-being, it's governance. Resistance is not fact. Alpha is, but omega does not bring balance, especially when it comes to an alpha male. Resistance is doubt and fear, and society is full of it, absolutely full of it. And this is where government came from. I say I have respect for the humans in government, but not the titles they represent. The titles they represent, the system they represent, they have no authority to it. Excuse me, I'm having a beer while I do this because it's not easy to even get this out, especially while I'm getting hammered by these things. It feels like I've got 10,000 mosquitoes on me all at once, and you can't get rid of them. And it's mental manipulation in a very heavy field. And it's all to do with witchcraft, and it's all to do with the Ministry of Justice. That is a parasite right in the middle of the system that we're subject to through legal entities. And I just want to let loose on this, but at the same time, I do want to keep a field of respect, as I say, for humans. The humans representing their titles, but they are limited. They are subject to a secondary legislation that is not crown legislation. So, we're in a sovereign state. This is New Zealand. We're all sovereigns, but we also have these legal entities. So this comes from something that happened at our birth when we did not have a choice in the matter, and the whole thing's void because when we turn 18 they're supposed to recall this contract. So our parents registered us. Anything you register can be taken off you. Register your kids, they can be taken off you. Register your dog, it can be taken off you. Register your car, it can be taken off you. Anything that's registered can be taken off you through the court of law. This has been a legal fiction. It's not law. It's manipulation through subjective reality. I'm a bit ahead of myself on this because I'm a bit wound up. I'm going to try and carry on and drink my beer. I say I want to be casual about it. But like I said, these things are harassing me because they don't want this information coming out. Over the past 7 years of the spiritual awakening, it's done everything it can to make me look like an absolute nutcase. Like I said, lost friends and family because of it. But it's something I won't let go. Wind back a little bit because it doesn't come out that well. Difference between commuting, conversating between a 3D and a 5D reality is getting through the 4D. And 4D, because it's a master level, it's a very hard one to overstand. I'm getting better at it, but because of the 4-4, the 4D dimension, it's got no jurisdiction. And this is where secondary legislation comes from. It's a form of witchcraft. It's not from here. Humans did not create it. It is a channel. And Crown legislation has been used to make this happen. and it has taken over pretty much everything, right down to the best before dates on the food we eat at the supermarkets. It seems to think it has no jurisdiction, and it governs us through fractions of time and dead time, and there's such a thing as being outside code. So I was going to speak of code. Like I say, I'm a bit wound up on this video. I'm going to put it out anyway. Like I say, I don't edit my videos. What I say is what it is at the time. It depends on how I feel when it comes to vibration. So going back to the Alpha Omega. So vibration is vibration. Vibration is something that vibrates, and we all do it. Everything does it. No, technology's got nothing to fucking do with it. This is what I deal with on a day-to-day basis, because I'm speaking truth, and there is a form of artificial intelligence, and then there's witchcraft from the history as well, that are trying to meet together in the present moment of now. I have quantum experiences, and I start to get understandings of future, past and present all at the same time, which doesn't make it that easy, especially when you're trying to speak it on a time linear momentum, that being word after word after word after word. It's complex or intricate, but I'm getting there. But I'm going to be straight up with it. Yes, I get frequencies all the time. I've learned to translate them into an English language, and they like to interfere as much as possible to throw me off, throw me out, or even lead my conversation so they think they're me. Me, I exercise from Crown law point of view, not legislation. It's written. I don't follow anything that's written, simply because it can be deciphered and used against you or rebutted as it comes from a secondary legislation point of view. Losing where I'm going with all of this, because I sort of sat down, but I'm going to get back up. I say I want to bring out all the love and light that I channel, and bring out all the positive stuff that's really good for human mind. But at the same time, I'm not the only one dealing with this. We all are, one way or another. If you're comfortable in a job and sitting in your whatever and living a pretty good crazy life, you're still limited, but you know, everyone sort of sticks to themselves and does their own thing. You know, we're all being separated. It is common knowledge if you're into looking outside the boxes, but at the same time, because of my bloodline and my heritage, I don't want to speak of it as title as of yet, because I have no social status, and I don't want to come into this jumping up and down about who I am, because I don't need to wave anything around to say, hey, I'm this. I'd rather prove it by speaking it. And when it comes to governments, they hold no authority whatsoever. Police officers hold no authority whatsoever, especially in the situation that they're in now, because any authority to be exercised is under the Crown. And if you're not the fucking Crown, you are not authority. Alright? This is not just for the people that I'm speaking it to. This is for the filters within. And I'm going to put this out there, because I'm fucking sick of it. I'm over it. There are people getting hammered day to day for criminal activity that's not criminal. And when it comes to the court system being a secondary legislation, it's not a fucking authority. It's a practice. Why would you exercise a practice? It's against the fucking law. Excuse me. Having events. So what they do is they create a system of acts. They put an act out, it goes through government, it becomes a bill, then it becomes an act if it comes through second time, and then they come out and they exercise it. But it's a practice. If you exercise a practice, you're breaking the law, especially Crown law. If you want to break a fucking statute, you're all subject to jail. This is not extortion, this is treason. Acting as a title is a corporate fucking entity. Alright? Let me get my bearings again. So the reason why we don't have human rights is because we're subject to legal rights. Excuse me, this is authority coming out. As long as you have a fucking corporate entity, a corporate license, or the like, birth certificate, you're subject to a legal form, an act of law. It's a bylaw. It's actually not law. It's a mild form of science. It's actually manipulation to teach you and ingrain you into a submissive field at a loud vibration where you can't comprehend intelligence. Me, I'm above that. So I'm into code law. Code law is very precise, precision. And I've worked out, when it comes to the word sovereign, this is sovereign states. New Zealand government is not sovereign. It is corporate. It's a fucking business. A business that's in debt. What happens when a business cannot pay its fucking bills? It gets liquidated. Alright? Understand that. Like I say, I'm speaking out there broadcasting. Don't take it personally. Excuse me, I'm just going to actually have a breathe out and have a beer. Like I said, I won't eat it. I'm going to carry on going. Fucking I'm going to put this on the media straight away. So what's going on is that the Ministry of Justice, being the ministry, is corrupt. And it's been running through the Crown, or through Mind actually, it's the lower chakra, acting as Crown. They've used Crown legislation, replicated it. Like I say, this is no one here today. This happened in history. There was a lot of intelligence back then, and witchcraft, and heaps of twisted shit. But, like I said, I might sound out there, but I'm full of intelligence. So, anyway. Fuck. Oh, I'm just getting hammered at the same time, so I've got to take my time, clear them out. Yeah, they don't like me. So what they've done is they've imposed on Crown legislation and they've created a practice. And all of it's a practice. And then it's exercised. But what they do is that they train the police up for 6 months to parrot off this system of acts, you know, before they make the arrests. And fuck, cops don't know nothing about fucking law. They know fucking nothing. They're actually being set up by the court system to parrot this shit off because they don't have the authority to do it. No, they're more or less council workers. There's more authority on the door at security because they're holding the coat of arms that's also corrupt, but I'll get into that later. And then they come through and then there's people wearing suits. They wear no coat of arms, they wear nothing. They're just business. And they're processing humans under legal entities. And we have no human rights. We don't even have legal rights because there is such thing as a Bill of Rights. And the reason what happens is it goes through and gets processed once, comes through as a bill, and then it's got to go through again, and then it's got to get paid for before it becomes an act. The reason why we don't get rights, even under a legal circumstance, is because the Bill of Rights never got processed the second time. Because if that got processed the second time, lawyers wouldn't have a job. Because we'd have a Bill of Rights. Well, an Act of Rights, sorry. And if lawyers didn't have a job, then the court system can't manipulate the fucking lawyers. You know, this is just the start of it. Like I said, I'm fucking wound up and pissed off at the moment because I'm trying to break through this shit and I'm just getting hammered by these frequencies. And that goes right into universal law and so much more intelligence beyond that. But I'm going to put this one out there as this now and see how I feel, see what comes back from it, and I'm going to put some more out. But yeah, cheers.